Good morning. Welcome to This Week. Frantic scramble. The massive high-tech search for Flight 370 intensifies. In the skies, on the water. This morning, all the breaking details. Face off.
We stand ready to impose further sanctions.
The dramatic tug-of-war between Presidents Obama and Putin. Is the crisis in Ukraine sparking a new Cold War? And cashing in. Should college athletes get paid like pros? The critical legal case that could rock March Madness.
From ABC News, This Week with George Stephanopoulos starts now.
Good morning again. I'm Martha Raddatz. So much to get to today, including Stats Whiz Nate Silver of 538. We have a first look at his exclusive analysis of the midterm elections. But we begin overseas with Malaysia Air Flight 370. As we come on the air this morning, the search for wreckage is intensifying, focusing on this area where satellites have spotted what might be debris. But still, more than 2 weeks into the search, what happened to Flight 370 is a mystery, and we all want answers. We have complete coverage of that search for answers, beginning with ABC's David Wright, who has just stepped off a search plane that was out scanning those waters. David joins us now from Pearce Air Base in Australia. David.
Good morning, Martha. We just spent 10 hours aboard that plane, only to come back empty-handed. The crew set off with high hopes. Their assigned search area adjusted overnight because of that Chinese satellite image. We had a few radar contacts, but no visual confirmation of anything significant except for a whale. Visibility, though, was very poor because of low-lying clouds. Well, today, the French provided investigators with what they say is another satellite photo showing possible debris, and that will keep this search going. This vast stretch of sea in one of the most remote parts of the planet is now the focus of worldwide attention. State-of-the-art planes have poured over a region of water bigger than Texas for 5 days, coming back empty-handed. Then yesterday, a dramatic moment of hope. A Malaysian official briefing reporters was handed an urgent message.
The news that I just received is that the Chinese ambassador received satellite image of floating objects in the southern corridor, and they will be sending ships to verify.
That image shows what appears to be a large object floating in the water, measuring about 74 by 43 feet. A Chinese satellite took the picture March 18th. The location, about 75 miles southwest of the material spotted in the Australian satellite image released last week. Could it be the same debris?
The two images look very similar, both size and shape. But the important thing is to get someone there to determine what is this thing. Is it airplane part or not?
Today we boarded this Australian P-3 Orion, one of more than half a dozen search planes trying to answer that question. On the surface of the water, there's a growing number of naval vessels, including 2 Australian warships, one with a remote sub, at least 1 merchant vessel, and a Chinese icebreaker now on the way. Even if they do manage to confirm wreckage on the surface, the next step will be even more challenging. The sea here far deeper than where Titanic sank, on average 14,000 feet, in some parts 30,000 feet. Too deep for any submarine to go. For the families still searching for answers, it is agonizing, as the wife of Flight 370's chief steward told ABC's Bob Woodruff.
If it's in the ocean, it brings us closure, but at the back of our mind, we hope that it's, they say it's a hijacking and all that, it's somewhere. Then there's hope that he's still alive.
I can't stress enough how remote this search area is. You spend twice as much time traveling to and from as you do there searching. But this Australian crew we were with today, like the Americans we were with last week, are determined to provide some answers. Martha?
Our thanks to David. Let's go straight to Commander William Marks of the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet, which is leading the American portion of the search. Commander Marks joins us on the phone from aboard the USS Blue Ridge. Commander Marks, let's talk about these new satellite photos. The French have new satellite photos this morning. That makes 3 areas we're looking at. Do you know how close they all are together and what that will mean for your portion of the search?
I have not seen the French imagery yet. I have seen what Australia reported and what China reported. They are really big chunks of radar return. So if that is the case, that's a positive. I can tell you the radar on our P8 and on the P3 both, they're very advanced radars. So what we'll do is fly at an altitude of about 5,000 feet. And that maximizes our radar search over a swath of about 10 to 20 miles on each side of our flight path. With that radar looking down on the surface of the water, can see an object as small as the size of a basketball.
And how long can this search last?
We work very closely with our international partners, and we just take it day by day, and we'll have to see how long us as a group decide we can keep going and how long we're requested to go. What I tell people is this is like looking for something somewhere between New York and California. You just don't know where.